Hello students, we have been learning very interesting unit, that is unit 3, classification and representation of data from computational botany paper. Here we have to get idea about the graphic representation of the data. Frequency tables or distributions are easier to visualize and comprehend when they are represented diagrammatically or graphically. So whatever data is with us, that data, when we want to be easy to visualize and comprehend, when that is to be represented diagrammatically or graphically. Diagrams are more suitable. Diagrams are more suitable to illustrate the data, which are qualitative or discrete, while continuous data better represented by the graphs. So all this information we will get idea when and when we will be able to see the example, or with the example we will be able to see the things. Before that one, we have to understand that the types of diagrammatic representations. So definitely there are, my friends, I have to say that two types of the diagrammatic representation are there. First one, that is a bar diagram. First one, that is a bar diagram. Second one, that is, we have to say that pie diagram. So students, so here we can see there are a two types of a diagrammatic representations, and first one is a bar diagram, second one is a pie diagram. Now actually we have to get idea about the bar diagram. In this diagram, bars are constructed. We have to construct the bar. The length of the bar is always proportional to the corresponding numerical frequency. These things you have to keep in mind. In the first type of a diagrammatic representation, that is in bar diagram, the bars are to be constructed. The length of the bar is always proportional to the corresponding numerical frequency of the category or discrete variables. Here, length is important and not width of the bar. That is most important. Length of the bar in bar diagram is having a importance as compared to that of the width of the bar. The bar should be equally spaced. Distance between the bar should be equal one. Again, the bars may be the horizontal or vertical, and such a type of a bar diagram is known as a simple bar diagram. Friends, this is the little bit explanation of first type of diagrammatic representation, that is bar diagram. Now, as already I have said to you, we have to get idea with the help of some examples. Here you can see very easily data is there. This data set gives a number of grains per spike of wheat variety, and the data arranged in a ascending manner. That is, ascending manner in the sense increased manner. So number of grains per spike of wheat, गव्हाची व्हरायटी आहे, त्या गव्हाच्या व्हरायटीच्या लोंबीमध्ये, एका लोंबीमध्ये किती गहू आहेत, तो डेटा या ठिकाणी घेतलेला आहे. तो इन्क्रीजिंग ऑर्डरनं मांडलेला आहे. म्हणजेच माय फ्रेंड्स, here you will be able to see that 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 20 करत करत आपण 43 पर्यंत गेलो. याचा अर्थ गव्हाच्या लोंब्या आपण घेतल्यात त्या किती आहेत? टोटल 130 आहेत. 130 लोंब्या घेतल्या. प्रत्येक लोंबीमध्ये किती गहू आहेत आणि ते आपण इथं मांडले, आणि मांडल्यानंतर सगळे 130 जो आपल्याला फिगर्स मिळाला ते आपण असेंडिंग ऑर्डरनं या ठिकाणी लिहिलेल्या आहेत. इज इट क्लिअर? माय एक्झाम्पल वी हॅव अंडरस्टूड what is there. Now solution of that example is that आता आपण वरती बघितलं की 130 गव्हाच्या लोंब्या घेतल्या. प्रत्येक लोंबीमध्ये किती धान्य आहे ते लिहिलं. असेंडिंग ऑर्डरनं तो डेटा सगळा आपण मांडलेला आहे. नाव बाय युजिंग फॉर्म्युला of the width of the class interval, इथं I is equal to L minus S divided by, again we have to say that the C is, sorry, इथं C आहे, in bracket L minus S divided by C. Now what is I? I is the width of the class interval. What is L from this formula? या फॉर्म्युल्यातला L म्हणजे काय? L is the largest value. लार्जेस्ट व्हॅल्यू फ्रॉम द डेटा आपण क्लिअर बघितला. त्याच्यामध्ये शेवटच्या फिगर किती आहेत? 43. म्हणजे एका लोंबीमध्ये जास्तीत जास्त किती ग्रेन्स आहेत? तर 43. म्हणजे एलची व्हॅल्यू 43. यस म्हणजे स्मॉलेस्ट व्हॅल्यू, सगळ्यात स्मॉल किती धान्य? तर 17, दॅट इज 17. आय इज इक्वल टू एल मायनस यस, क्लास इंटरवल आय, दॅट इज विड्थ ऑफ ए क्लास इंटरवल म्हणजे आय. लार्जेस्ट व्हॅल्यू त्या डेटामधली 43, स्मॉलेस्ट व्हॅल्यू 17, आणि सी म्हणजे काय? तर नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस, नंबर ऑफ ऑब्झर्वेशन्स ते किती आहेत? 130. So here we will be able to see that with the help of that formula, I is equal to 43 minus 17 divided by 1140. I is equal to 43 largest value minus small value, that is equal to, now हे 11.40 कुठून आलं? तर C इज इक्वल टू, सी म्हणजे आपण काढलेली व्हॅल्यू, दॅट इज नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस, अंडर रूट एन. एन म्हणजे नंबर ऑफ ऑब्झर्वेशन्स. किती होते नंबर ऑफ ऑब्झर्वेशन्स? 130. सी इज इक्वल टू अंडर रूट एन म्हणजे अंडर रूट 130. अंडर रूट 130ची किंमत आली 11.40. सो आय इज इक्वल टू 43, दॅट इज द लार्जेस्ट व्हॅल्यू एल, मायनस यस, दॅट इज ऑफ ए स्मॉलेस्ट व्हॅल्यू 17, ब्रॅकेट आहे ह्याला, डिवायडेड बाय 11.40 म्हणजे डिवायडेड बाय सी म्हणजे अंडर रूट एन इज इक्वल टू. देअरफॉर class interval is chosen as a 3 for our own convenience. Then 9 classes are constructed and the following frequency distribution is prepared. Have you got the formula, friends? Formula is I is equal to, in bracket L minus S bracket complete divided by C. Now L ची व्हॅल्यू लार्जेस्ट 43, एम आर एसची व्हॅल्यू 17 डेटामध्ये आहे. सी इज इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस, दॅट इज अंडर रूट ऑफ एन ऑब्झर्वेशन, सी इज इक्वल टू 130ची किंमत आली 11.40. सो फॉर्म्युला झाला I इज इक्वल टू 43 मायनस 17 डिवायडेड 11.40. 43 minus 17, that is equal to 26, and 11 point divided by 11.40, that is equal to 2.28. म्हणजे above the 2 means 3 figure we have taken for our convenience. 9 classes are constructed. Now here we will be able to get idea, my friends. Class interval 3, 17, 18, 19, 17, 18, 19 means, my friends, number of grains per spike 17 ते 19च्या दरम्यान असतील असे किती लोंबे आहेत? 08. 20 ते 22, 20 to 22, 15 are there. 23 through 25, that are 18 means 18. 26 to 28, 3. इधर गॅप कितीचा आहे? 3चा आहे. क्लास इंटरवल that is of a 3. Now टोटल जर याची बेरीज केली, नंबर ऑफ ऑल wheat spike, it could be 130. How many classes we have made? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Isn't it? Now 130 is there. Next. This is the simple bar diagram. Sorry, 8 are there bars. In that one also 8 classes we have made. How many classes are there? Not 9 classes. By mistake in the book also mentioned that actually 8 classes are there. Isn't it? So class interval. So from the simple bar diagram, we will be able to understand how many bars are there. They are equally spaced. Isn't it? Equally spaced. The vertical bars are there and length is most important. So the number of, we have to say that grains 17 to 19 grains in the spike of the wheat. How many are there? This is a 8. Isn't it? This is a 8. Now this 15. This is a 15. Now next one is a 18. Now this one is a 21. So like that one, the length is corresponding to its, we have to say that frequency, means how many are there. Friends, after this, getting idea about simple bar diagram. These are the vertical bars are there, equally spaced, isn't it? Now we have to get idea about other type, that is multiple bar diagram. I have to get about idea about multiple bar diagram. Example of that is given here. My friends, you have to keep in mind this multiple bar diagram is used to compare magnitude of a 2 or 3 variables, or for the comparison of a 2 or 3 aspects of the same variable. Means a group of rectangles representing different characteristics for one community or population are shown side by side. For example, I will give to you. Suppose we want to compare the percentage of population in age group, that is from 0 to 14. 0 to 14. Or Suppose we want to compare the birth rates or death rates for the two major Asian countries like the India and Japan, isn't it? So what is that? So here we will be able to see with the help of this illustration we will get idea about multiple bar diagram, which is another type of a bar diagram. Here example is there. The following figure shows multiple bar diagrams which can be used to visualize comparison of effect of drought on growth of a two varieties of MSCS 57 wheat T1 and T2 with control. Sorry, with control. So there is a comparison in respect to height, number of branches, leaves, pods and leaf area. What is that? After understanding exact this illustration, we will be able to understand seeing the exact sketches. Here we will be able to see, we will be able to see here actually the things is that how these figures gives us idea about comparison in between the data. First, we will be able to see this height, isn't it? In this height, first bar that is of a control, second bar is for T1 variety, third bar is for T2 variety. So here we can be able to compare the things very well. We can compare the things very well. So for the comparison, we can use the multiple bars here. Comparison of a सेम व्हेरिएबल आपण हाईटच घेतली पण व्हरायटी दोन आणि टू कम्पेअर दॅट वन वी हॅव टेकन द कंट्रोल सो वी कॅन से विथ द हेल्प ऑफ दिस बार we can compare with the help of this bar diagram multiple bar diagrams that control the plants which are grown in a control having a more height as compared to the T1 variety first variety and T2 variety of a wheat. If we will compare these branches number of branches at that time also we'll be able to say that in case of the control there are the more branches and again in case of the T1 variety there are the less branches or somehow equal in T1 and T2. Here also in case of comparison of a number of leaves also we'll be able to see that in case of the control there is a maximum number of leaves, isn't it? Same condition we will be able to see in terms of leaf area and number of in case of T1, T2, control T1, T2, control T1, T2. So we have compared here. By comparison, we will come to the conclusion that means data whatever we are arriving with the help of that data we have constructed what we have constructed that is nothing but the bars multiple bars and with the help of that one we have compared these things and we have reached up to conclusion is that in case of the plants grown in a control having a maximum height maximum number of branches maximum number of leaves maximum leaf area and again number of pods is there, isn't it? So you'll have to keep in mind here we have compared the two varieties for its we have to say that height, number of branches and we have compared all these things with the help of a we have to say that the multiple bar diagrams are there. Now what is pie diagram? Isn't it? We will first of all get idea about this pie diagram. This type of enable us to show the partoning of the total into its component parts. This diagram is in the form of a circle which is divided by the radial lines into a sections. That sections are nothing but the components. It is so called because the entire diagram looks like a pie and the component resembles the slices cut from it. The area of each section or component is proportional to the size of the component. Size of the component. It is used to present data such as the total expenditure, total area under the cultivation of a for the different crops, isn't it? The following pie diagram shows the number of plants present in the garden, isn't it? Number of plants present in the garden. So how this pie diagram is to be used, just to get idea about the total number of plants in a garden, that we have to see. Friends, keep in mind here total number of plants in garden. Which are those? For example, I will write here as a tree, herb, shrub and climber. अशी सिच्युएशन नसते, but for our own understanding we have to understand only how the pie diagram is going to used just to find out. We have to say that or the area under the plant, or we have to say that number of plants in a single garden. So this can be very easily, we will be able to understand, isn't it? Now you have to keep in mind, suppose we are having a data number of total plants in our garden. So we will make total of this, isn't it? And then we will find that number of tree 620 out of total, isn't it? Again 780 herbs out of total these plants, 20 out of total, sorry, 200 out of total, 1250 that are the climbers are there. If we'll make the total of all these things, and then we will find that only these many plants are present there. Or suppose we want to find out the data, isn't it? We want to find out the data, that is, suppose this is a pie diagram shows the blood bank data for the year 1996, isn't it? For example, suppose the O blood preserving or collecting banks, isn't it, that are suppose 1500, isn't it? A, that is of suppose 620, B 780, AB only 200. So what happens actually, this is the number of total blood banks actually are there in the year 1996, but they are collecting a different group of a blood. So with comparison we will come to know that O blood collecting blood banks in 1996 number is 1250 out of total blood bank. A blood collecting 620, B 780 and C that is of a 200. So pie diagram is going to give us immediately, we can visualize, immediately we can understand common ones. So these are the, we have to say that methodologies. These are the diagrams, diagrams used to visualize the data, easier visualization of a data. So friends, you have to write the examples, sketch the diagrams, and then you will come to know that what the things are there, isn't it? With this, thank you